How's it going, guys? Welcome back in the Rover Sports. Did a Reuben Foster video earlier, you guys. Hopefully, we'll check that out and enjoy it. Right now, I wanted to talk about a topic that a lot lighter topic than the Reuben Foster and the trouble off the field. It's Johnny Manziel. Not incredibly lighter because Johnny's, he's had some issues himself. But can Johnny football play in the NFL again? And Johnny's a player that I loved watching play in College Station. Big fan of Johnny Manziel, a guy that at 6 feet really inspired a lot with his play, really fun guy to watch. And when he played in Cleveland, it was just a mess. Mike Pettine didn't want him. Actually, DeFilippo was the quarterback coach in Cleveland. And I'm just not a fan of Josh McCown or Brian Hoyer, both guys that were there. And Johnny, I really wanted to see Manziel get a chance to start consecutive games. I still remember him beating the Tennessee Titans. I remember him running it in against the Buffalo Bills. I remember him hitting Travis Benjamin on some deep balls throughout his time in Cleveland. And even DeShone Kizer, who has immense talent, nobody has really succeeded in Cleveland, from Brandon Weeden to Brady Quinn to Charlie Fry, to Jake Delhomme. You can go down the list of quarterbacks. Even Derek Anderson wasn't able to sustain success out there in Cleveland. Seneca Wallace, so many guys. Tim Couch started for the Cleveland Browns since the turn of the century and haven't succeeded. Johnny Manziel, it was a ridiculous situation. Jimmy Haslam has always run a ship that is completely unstable. He makes crazy draft decisions. They're always turning over general managers. Head coaches are always in and out. Except for this one, Hugh Jackson somehow gets to stay, and he's pretty much won 2 games in the past 2 seasons, which is remarkable. So maybe that's so impressive that they're going to keep him. But you look at Johnny football, and this is a guy that you can get cheap. This is a guy that has good arm strength, big hands, decent arm strength, can make plays happen on the move. And, let's look at the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Out of all the starting quarterbacks, Johnny could have probably started in Denver. He could have probably been the backup to Carson Palmer. He definitely provides a spark. But is this guy going to be consistent year to year? We don't know. For Johnny, you're going to have to survive growing pains. What makes it really difficult for Johnny Manziel to get back is he needs to be handed an opportunity to start like Case Keenum, because who in their right mind would want this guy as a backup quarterback? He's nothing but a distraction. So if you're not starting Johnny football, then you're going to have a distraction. The guy's also 6 feet tall. Even though he's an exciting player, he's not going to be an incredibly consistent player. He's not going to dominate immediately. He's not even like an accurate Baker Mayfield. He's a guy that uses a lot of his improvisation, and he lobbed the ball up to Mike Evans a ton. He didn't go for a lot of progression reads. When he played Florida and LSU, he struggled mightily. He struggled mightily against the Tigers both years. He did play well against Alabama and Nick Saban, I'll say that. And the guy is an exciting player that does push it down the field, but Johnny's going to have to light it up somewhere. Maybe a team lets him in training camp, and Johnny, he's going to probably have one. If he ever gets to start, he's going to have one chance to start, and he's going to have to kill it in his opportunity. He's going to have to be totally clean, and right now he's talking. But I think that the best move for Johnny is if he doesn't get an NFL invite, he needs to go to Canada, no doubt. And we just need to see the guy on the football field. I mean, I know Johnny is doing a nice job talking about, his issues. I give him a lot of credit. Very mature of Johnny to step up and talk about some real serious stuff that's going on in his life and really some shit that he had to deal with in the past. I give Johnny a lot of credit. Couldn't have been easy, but now Johnny's doing that. He's facing the music. He's stepping up, and to get back in the public eye, you're going to have to do that. Johnny's getting married. He's been sober, doing all the right things, saying all the right things. Right now, it's time to see pen to paper. It's time to see the guy play the game of football. And it's just time to see him on a field again in a locker room setting. And that's the closest way that Johnny's going to get back. Whether it's Canadian Arena League. If he doesn't get NFL, guy needs to prove it in Arena and Canadian League. And then he might get a chance. I mean, there's a lot of quarterback injuries. Aaron Rodgers went down. Teddy Bridgewater went down. Carson Palmer went down last year. Andrew Luck, his question, he's still Andrew Luck right now is still a question mark. The good news about Johnny is he should be cheap. You should be able to hire him during the season. And listen, you can get him in there. He can learn a playbook, and you just try him for a year. If you're Indy, like you have Jacoby Brissett, I think Johnny Manziel is more versatile than Jacoby Brissett. You know, you look at Tyrod Taylor. Could Johnny Manziel have the same skill set as Tyrod? I would think yes. I think Johnny Manziel can be a Tyrod Taylor type of guy, a guy that's mobile, a guy that can throw a little bit, not going to be incredible, but I think Johnny can make exciting plays. And what I really want a team to do with Johnny is everybody says, it's kind of annoying at this point, how hard it is to be an NFL quarterback. Oh, you have to study this much. Oh, you have to memorize an offense. You have to win over a locker room. It's not like the other positions. It's one of the toughest positions in sports. It is the toughest position in sports. All that is true, but look at Nick Foles. I mean, you got to get a head coach that believes in Johnny's skill set and simplify the game for the kid. Like, get Johnny doing the things that he's good at and get the kid some damn reps. I hated how in Cleveland, Johnny was not given the keys to the castle. That's part of the reason why I think he went insane, because he's just like, screw this, F this, Patine hates me. No matter what I do, when McCown gets back, I'm going to get benched anyway. So he wasn't motivated to play the game of football, and he wasn't motivated to basically get into the locker room and do his deal. And he couldn't string together anything because Mike Patine and the Cleveland coaching staff yanked it out from under him. And he was just sitting there and he's like, what the hell? I'm improving in practice. I'm doing what you want me to do, and I'm not playing any snaps of football. And you drafted me, first round, whatever. He was pretentious at the time, which he shouldn't have been. But you look at Johnny, I would love nothing more than to see the kid play. I wanted Tebow to play. I want Johnny to play. I really want him to have a chance. And I'd even be happier and glad if Johnny gets a chance and in 4, 5 to 7 games, he goes out and doesn't do as well. Because then we'll get closure. We'll be like, okay, Johnny got his chance and he wasn't that great. But I love second chance stories. I want to see Johnny come back. He did have some issues in the past for sure. He wasn't that likable for a period of time. But now, just like Ryan Leaf, Johnny is really remaking his life. I'm happy for Johnny in that regard. And I'm excited to see this guy get back on a football field. And listen, if you're Johnny Manziel and the NFL doesn't come a-calling, you can't continue to hold out. You better be on the damn field this year before it's too late. You're 25 years old. It's time for you to go to Canada or somewhere. And listen, no matter how you do there, just put in the work, be a good teammate, and I'd rather you go to Canada and play than never play at all. So you got to be fearless. You got to trust your talent. I know the Canadian game is different, and trust me, if I was Johnny, I wouldn't want to go there either. But you might have to make do, and it's very hard. I mean, you look at the NFL right now, there's quarterbacks that are out of the NFL, Robert Griffin, Colin Kaepernick, Tim Tebow, that if they're backup quarterbacks are huge distractions. So if you're going to be a player, you're going to have to come in and prove that you can be a capable, good starting quarterback. Johnny's going to have to come in and lead a team to a playoff berth, and Johnny's going to have to come in and be very electric with his decision-making. He's going to have to make smart decisions, get out of the pocket when needed, play in somewhat of a structure. But I want the head coach to give Johnny a lot of leeway, not really pigeonhole him that much, not get on him about his feet. The thing I dislike about Hugh Jackson, the thing I dislike about a lot of NFL coaches and offenses is that they overcoach their young kids. I don't know if Jared Goff was overcoached, but certainly you saw Deshaun Kaiser really overcoached. John Morton would overcoach the heck out of Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg and would not give them any confidence at all. Johnny's going to have to go somewhere where the guy believes in him and he gives him confidence that the guy can succeed. You look at Nick Foles, why he was so successful, and it's because the head coach, even when he was struggling, gave Nick an opportunity to succeed. C.J. Beathard had his time because the coaching staff gave confidence that he can succeed. It's about the coaching staff giving Johnny confidence. It's simplifying the position, utilizing strengths, letting him throw, not just gadget wildcat bullshit. And I want to see the guy get back on the field. He has paid dues. He's matured for 2 to 3 years, which he needed to do. You see a lot of guys right now that need 2 to 3 years of maturing. And Johnny at this point has sat out a long, long time, and I think a team can hire him back. It's not going to be the Cleveland Browns, but I think a team can hire him back, and we'll really see if the guy can keep his head on straight this time around. So wishing Johnny best of luck, and I really want to see the kid get back on the football field in no time. We'll see you guys.